You're watching Trenny and C. We're the house whiskey reviewers for the OMC, theoldmanclub.com.
That's the one.
So thanks for joining us for either the first time or giving us another try here.
Another shot.
Yeah. We're going to be reviewing some delicious whiskeys here for theoldmanclub.com. We've already reviewed one. It's up on our chart up there. I don't know if you can see it right now or not.
You'll see it in a couple minutes.
Yeah, we'll see it in a minute. And we've got another really, really excellent whiskey today. But this time, we have gone a little bit more exotic than Jack Daniels.
I'd say quite a bit more.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So stick around. Find out what we've got for you this week. Drinking whiskey, describing all the flavors for you and me. Irish, Scotch, bourbon, and rye. If they like a bottle, they'll tell you why.
Okay, we have, why don't you pull this one out for us? We have something very special. This is Kavalan ex-Bourbon,
Ex-Bourbon Oak.
Ex-Bourbon Oak whiskey.
Check out this packaging. It's like, got the little bag there, handy dandy
Nice
bag.
little, yeah, you get that. Awesome.
Whatever. I don't think you can use it for anything other than carrying this box, but whatever. A little bit of packaging action here.
The most important thing, though, is in the box.
Yes.
There it is. Nice.
Give you a
Look at that.
little close-up. That's the Kavalan ex-Bourbon Oak.
Excellent. So why don't you pour us a little bit of this, guy?
Fine.
So,
and if you're going to tell me what to do, then why don't you tell the people a little bit about Kavalan?
well, first I'm going to say what we do here at Trenny and C is we do color, nose, taste, finish, and viscosity.
We score them all.
We score them all out of 33.33 and see where they kind of land on our scale on this chart behind us. Anyway, so
I gotta make sure I don't give you more than me.
this is true.
If I get more, it's okay though. Oh, I got a little more. Fine.
Just top me up. There we go. Oh, just top it up.
Yeah.
So
That's a healthy pour already.
I think it is. And this guy here is bottled at 46%, so it's got a little bit of an extra kick there, so a little bit more bang for your buck. Are you trying it already?
I was thinking about it.
So this Kavalan is produced by the King Car Distillery, which is a relatively new distillery in Taiwan.
Yeah, so I guess we should mention it's a Taiwanese whiskey.
Taiwanese whiskey. The King Car Company was established in 1979, and they did beverages and food and things like that. But they decided they really wanted to release a spirit that had the region in mind, keeping to the people's traditions and things like that when they released their first whiskey.
So that must be where they got the name Kavalan from.
Yeah, so Kavalan is named after the indigenous people of the area, just to keep kind of with the traditions there. So this first whiskey that they ever made was in 2008. The first spirit they ever produced was in 2006. So it's only actually aged for 2 years. So this being aged for 2 years is pretty excellent.
So the distillery actually opened in 2005.
Right.
So it's only just over 10 years old, that distillery at this point.
Yeah, it's a relatively new spirit in the world of whiskeys, and it's getting tons and tons of accolades and medals and all that kind of stuff.
Can we talk more later and just start getting
Sure,
into it?
sure, why not?
Okay, so let's go.
Okay, so no color.
Okay, so the color on this one is, it's got this unique, rich, golden brown color to it.
Reminds me of like Golden Grams or something.
Yeah, it's not your normal gold. It has this kind of coppery bronze,
It's like it's burnt looking,
yeah,
or something.
toasted tinge to it.
Yeah.
So it's got a unique color of it, and I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, and it's also quite a lot of sediment at the bottom of this, which may make up for the little bit of the cloudiness. Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's get to nose.
Yeah, nose it.
Yeah.
I actually, when I first
took some tasting notes on this bottle. I compared it side by side with some other higher end scotches. And what I found was that the nose of the Kavalan was more powerful. It was elegant. It was robust. It was just this. It actually put some of these other unmentioned higher end scotches to shame, in my opinion.
In the nose.
Yeah. Specifically.
Yeah. So what we kind of get out of this nose, well, what I'm getting anyways, is kind of like a honeydew melon. It's very crisp too, like kind of a crisp apple, but there is this underlying tropical fruit smell to it. And I really kind of get this, it's like pineapple and coconut, but dried coconut. Like, when you get that coconut and nuts and dried fruit.
The
and
sprinkle on top thing?
Like that kind of thing. That's kind of what it reminds me of, some tropical fruit notes.
I got a lot more of the malty, grainy doughiness on it. Definitely got the honeys, the lemons. I struggled until recently to find those tropical notes. But when I heard you talking about the tropical notes, and then as I kept tasting and trying it, obviously you can see the bottle's down a little bit, so this isn't our first taste. We don't usually like to just crack a bottle and then give it a score.
You need to let it open up and you discover new things.
Yeah, get to know it. Take some time with it, right? So as I was doing that and as I was listening to you, each time I take a sip, now I'm starting to kind of pull in a little bit more coconutty, pineapple-y, tropical, but I definitely struggled up front to find them, and I was in more of a hybrid of like a bourbon Scotch thing going on. It had malties from Scotch, but then like vanillas and kind of caramels from bourbon.
Ex-Bourbon cask, so it might make sense.
Yeah.
I also, speaking of that, the maltiness that I kind of do get out of it reminds me of an Irish whiskey a little bit, because it has that doughy graininess that a lot of Irish whiskeys have.
Well placed.
Yeah.
Okay, let's taste it.
Yeah.
Whew, here we go.
Yeah. It's a very, for being 46%, it's a soft arrival, I find, but it at first, up front, it's soft, and then as it develops, it kind of gets a little bit more of that citrus and tropical, the acidity from like a pineapple is in there, a little bit of that coconut, what do you call it? Pina colada.
Okay.
Pina colada cocktail has a little bit of that hint to it.
And I found that almost an orange, almost like a Japanese orange, was kind of the dominant flavor that I kept pulling out of it. Like, I sat back on my couch. I was actually laying down. I was kind of like, and when I did that, I just kept coming back to orange, a little bit of coriander, kind of some spiciness to it. But then, again, the bourbon flavors of vanilla and even a little bit of chocolate.
Yeah, for sure. I think
chocolatey.
I think that orange note you're talking about there does totally have the obviously citrus, but that acidity I was kind of talking about, which is like right in the middle of the palate when you taste it.
While we're tasting, we should mention a couple other Kavalan facts. Kavalan has 3 primary series. They have the Kavalan series, which this one is from. They have the Solace series, and then they have the Premium series.
Yep.
And so this bottle, the ex-Bourbon Oak, was $170 Canadian.
From British Columbia.
From British Columbia,
but
Canada.
Still pretty expensive.
Still very expensive. So I shudder to think, because of, this is already so good, in my opinion, and so expensive at the same time, I shudder to think about the price and quality of the Premium series. It must be either so amazing or so overpriced.
It's probably a little of both.
A little of both. There you go.
Really, when you're spending a more than $100 per bottle of scotch, you're actually, at some point, you're paying for the marketing and the prestige more than what's in the bottle. But a lot of the time, you do get surprised, and what you're paying for is actually worth it in the bottle. And I think this one is a good example of that.
This is also, this particular bottle, it's won some awards. It's got like the gold medal in the World Whisky category at the International Spirit Challenge. It's Kavalan overall is very well medaled. very prestigious.
Wears
overall.
some badges of honor,
Yeah,
this guy,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it'd be like that general with like his whole
all the
thing
ribbons or
filled,
whatever.
all of them. Yeah.
Not just participation ribbons.
No.
In some of these whiskeys.
Thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming. They got their copper stills from Scotland.
They did. So I think originally they were wanting to make this in a traditional Scottish style. They do use 100% malted barley, stills made in Scotland, all that kind of thing. But because the climate is so different,
It's tropical there, yeah.
Tropical, it ages really, really quickly. So I'd like to see what happens if they aged it even a little bit longer. Granted, the barrels lose more alcohol per year than they would in Scotland,
Right.
but still, it would be kind of interesting to see even 5 years on this.
Yeah, you're not, Kavalan's not going to be coming out with a 20-year-old version for 10 more years,
Yeah.
right? Like, they just don't have the age behind them.
And if they did, there'd probably be only like 100 bottles per barrel.
Yeah. So we should probably finish up our notes here. We got through taste, I think.
Yep.
Right.
One thing I want to say about taste
Yeah.
was it does kind of remind me of a semi-sweet white wine, a effervescent kind of white wine, not champagne, but more like a Gewürztraminer. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of thing. Okay, finish.
Finish. It's definitely got a heat warming aspect on the finish.
Yeah.
I also got a bit of a oaky dryness.
Exactly.
Slight bitterness.
Totally. I completely agree.
Good.
The other thing I'm finding,
agreeing.
Is I'm getting that maltiness on the end as well, where it has that kind of grassy kind of thing.
A little bit of spice too. Some of those exotic spices.
Yeah, and that kind of goes along with the heat on the finish.
Yeah.
So
Viscosity.
That
category, eh?
Yeah.
That vexing category, viscosity. So viscosity, again, I kind of go back to it being a bit of a Scotchy bourbon hybrid. It just kind of has that feel to it.
A little bit of the syrup, a little bit of the... It's. I bet if you add some water to this...
Let's do it. Let's add some water to it right now. Can I tell you what I found with water?
Sure.
When I had some water with it, just a little splash there, half a baby spoon. When I added water to it, that's when the bourbon flavors came out for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm slowly finding the tropical flavors.
Ooh. Yeah.
And before I did, I was finding bourbon when I put water in there.
Instantly, I feel like it makes it really fresh. That is the that white wine kind of thing to it. That is damn good with some water in there.
It's so delicious. We're recommending this. Is a great
go out,
whiskey.
buy this bottle. If you can find it way cheaper than we did, then I really highly suggest it.
Okay, in the interest of time, let's score this thing.
Okay, I gave it a 28.25, which is pretty damn good. You gave it a solid 29, which is excellent. So, all in all, it's 28.62.
Our scale only goes up to 33.33.
Yep.
So that's a 28.62?
Yeah, it's a 28.62. So, we're going to just fumble around with this guy.
Oh, sure we will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, pass it over. Yeah.
Okay.
What's happening?
Move over.
Not more. Yeah. Oh, there's a box in the way.
Oh no.
Well, we make it look so easy. It's not easy being a whiskey reviewer.
Really isn't. Okay, so this is our scale here. You can kind of see where we rate them. In reality, this Kavalan bourbon is, ex-bourbon is above Jack Daniel's 150th. When in reality, it's probably going to be placed up here, and this will probably be down a little lower.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
There's going to end up being probably a lot more in that 26, 27, 25-ish range. And Kavalan will probably stay towards the top of the board. I think you're bang on about that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we do a review for theoldmanclub.com every week.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday. You can also find some extra videos. If you subscribe down here, press this button, you can check us out at Trenny and C on YouTube. We have some extra stuff on there. But the Old Man Club also has some awesome... they have a lifestyle category. They have entertainment. They cover sports. They've got just all kinds of really cool stuff on there, so you should check it out.
Yeah, check them out.
Trenny and C.